Hey, did you finish the homework for math?
Not yet. I was too busy thinking about the project. What about you, Kyra?
I finished it last night. It wasn't that hard.
I finished it last night too.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all ready for today's lesson. Alright, class. Today we're going to talk about teamwork. Now, can anyone tell me why teamwork is important? Oh, I know. Teamwork helps people work together to get things done faster. Like when we do group projects, it's easier because we all help each other.
I agree. But it can also help you learn more because everyone brings different ideas.
But what if someone in your group isn't doing their part? That always makes teamwork harder.
Well, that's true. But if you communicate, you can usually figure out how to make it work. Like in our science project. We divided the work so no one had too much to do.
Great points, everyone. Claire, you bring up a valid concern. It's always important to have open communication in a group. But you can also encourage each other to stay on track.
Exactly. And sometimes it's fun to get different ideas from others. Like how Karun had the idea for the volcano experiment.
Well, it sounds like you all are getting along well in your teamwork, despite the challenges. Now let's try a small activity. I'm going to split you into groups and we're going to work on something together.
This is going to be awesome. I'm ready for it.
All right, let's get started then.
Hey, did anyone relate to the lesson? I mean, have you ever experienced love that hurt?
I had a friend who I thought would always be there for me. But things changed. It hurt when we drifted apart.
Yes, losing someone you care about is tough. It feels like a part of you is missing.
But isn't that a part of growing up? We learn from these experiences. Each heartbreak teaches us something valuable.
True. It's how we bounce back that matters. What do you think we should do when we feel hurt?
I think we should talk about it openly, like we did in class. Sharing helps.
And remember to take care of ourselves. Sometimes, we need
Our exploration lesson. So, now, when solving for x in an equation, we have to consider both sides of the equation equally. Every operation we do on one side has to be mirrored on the other. It's like balancing scales. The key is to keep the balance intact to solve for the unknown. Balancing scales. That's how love feels sometimes. Trying to keep everything equal. But one side always feels heavier. Hey, are you okay? You're zoning out. This math thing should be easy for you. I know. But it's not just about math. It's about everything feeling out of balance. Like in love. One moment everything makes sense. Then suddenly, it all falls apart. You can't expect everything to stay balanced all the time, Sophia. That's not how life works, or love, for that matter. Math is all about finding balance. But love, life, doesn't always follow rules like that. Sometimes, you have to accept that things are a bit messy. Remember, when you're solving an equation, every operation must be balanced. The goal is to isolate the variable. So, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. Is life like this equation? Trying to isolate the good things. But the bad keeps creeping in, throwing everything off. Don't overthink it, Sophia. Math is just math. Life, on the other hand, it's a bit more complicated. Alright, everyone. Great job today. Remember, the key takeaway from our lesson is understanding how our emotions shape our relationships. I've been thinking about what the teacher said. balance things on both sides of an equation. But it feels like sometimes, no matter how hard we try, one side always tips over. In love and life, everything feels so unbalanced. That's what math teaches us, though, right? Balance. But life isn't as easy as solving for x. It's not as simple as keeping both sides even. Exactly. Life's not an equation. It's messy. Some things don't add up or cancel out the way we want. Sometimes, it's about learning to deal with the chaos and finding a way through it. In math, we learn to find solutions. But in life, sometimes, there is no clean solution. You can't always balance everything perfectly, and that's okay. You just have to move forward, one step at a time. So, it's not about finding the perfect balance in everything? Like, I don't have to get everything right? No, Sophia. It's about accepting that sometimes things don't add up the way you want. Sometimes, the solution isn't clear. And that's part of life's process. We learn by going through the tough parts. Yeah. I mean, if everything were perfect, there'd be no fun in life, right? Exactly. Life's like a complicated equation. You just have to keep working through it, adjusting here and there. It's not always going to make sense, but that's how we grow. Now, it's time to go home. Goodbye. Take care.